Survival mechanics in 1.11.33 beta changed the game. Hello everyone, this is Richard. Welcome to Starfield Essentials. Here are my thoughts on gameplay settings in 1.11.33, their effects on ground and ship combat, and what's new with ship landings. First, I love the new gameplay settings. I've chosen settings that I call the 33% solution. Leave a comment if you know what I'm referencing. I chose settings to give me a 33% boost, but that's an arbitrary goal. You could go higher or lower. Here are those settings. First is enemy combat damage. I chose very hard. The testing by Dantics, which I'll link in the description, indicate that enemy damage is 1.5x at this setting. The top option, extreme, would be 2x, but give me a 6% boost. I'm fine with a 4% boost. For player combat damage, I chose very hard. With this setting, my weapons do half damage compared to normal. Extreme for this category would have weapons do 1/4 damage. I also chose very hard for enemy ship damage, meaning enemy ship weapons cause 1.5x damage. For player ship damage, I chose hard, which corresponds to my weapons being only about 75% their regular damage. This means I can still dish out decent firepower when surrounded by enemy ships. I no longer carry weightless ammo. This gives a 4% boost, which is a no-brainer for me. I can still carry 1,000 rounds of 4 different types of ammo and not have a significant penalty, even when I have the next setting enabled. With reduced carry capacity, I lose 50 kilograms of character inventory. This is totally worth it for a 4% XP boost, which I counter with the next setting. My biggest penalty with these settings is to have cargo access distance be anywhere. This simplifies my gameplay so much that it's worth the 6% penalty. Because I get 4% from weighted ammo and 4% from reduced carry capacity, I still come out 2% ahead and can access my ship cargo anywhere. This is really important to me once we get to health settings. I chose increased for vendor credits, which seems to raise their bank accounts by 5,000 credits. I need to test this myself. This is only a 2% XP penalty. I'm not sure about effects on ship vendors. There may not be any effect on them in the beta. Getting a little more breathing room for credits is very helpful. In the early game especially, when I need money, I might boost this to greatly increased, which may raise their totals by 20,000 credits. Now to healing. These are real game changers, in my opinion. I chose slowly for medical item healing to get a 4% XP boost. I think medical items heal half as fast with this setting, but you do get that 4% boost. Combat becomes deadlier. With this setting, combined with enemies hitting harder, I did more shooting around angles or engaging and then running away. I disabled food healing to gain another 2% XP boost. I never relied on food for healing anyway. I chose location limited for sleep healing, which basically forces me to sleep in my ship or outpost to restore health. This is worth the 2% XP boost and seems realistic. I kept the sustenance feature off. I do not want to bother with managing food. Combat affliction gain might be my favorite unexpected new feature. With the increased setting, I frequently suffer puncture wounds and other injuries when fighting humans. This seems realistic and adds another dimension to combat. I kept affliction treatment at normal. I tried improve only for a while, but I didn't like how I couldn't cure afflictions with aid items. Sleep didn't help either. Maybe I would have to see a doctor? If the infirmary on a ship acted like a real med bay, I might enable this. For the moment, I like to cure afflictions with aid items. I selected Advanced for Affliction Prognosis. This is a 5% boost, which is big. I offset this by curing afflictions with aid items as soon as possible. I kept environmental damage and afflictions at normal, but I was tempted to set it to off. It doesn't make sense for someone in a spacesuit to be affected by so many conditions. I didn't want the XP penalty though. I switched environmental damage restoration to resting for a 2% XP boost. I might switch this to limited resting, but for now I think it's okay as is. Finally, I'm not messing with aim assistance, as I don't want to learn a new way to aim. Anyone who has watched my early videos might want me to try it though. Let's discuss ship landings. While playing the beta, I've encountered a variety of ship landings, but not like those in versions prior to 1.10.31 and .32. Here's an example of a ship that landed, which I decided to track thanks to its appearance on the improved maps. Once I got on board, I recognized it as the Smuggler Captain encounter. This Smuggler Captain was not the lady version, which was new for me. I was able to eliminate the crew and steal the ship, which had been problematic at times in older versions. Here's a second example where I found an ecliptic falcata by just referencing the map. I was able to board, eliminate the crew, and make it my home ship. In both cases, as previously shown in my videos, the new mechanic means your old ship just disappears. Join me in telling Bethesda that we do not like this mechanic. I did that by filing a couple bug reports. I also used the new maps to hunt for landing sites. They appear as roughly triangular plateaus. In 3 tries, however, I did not find ships waiting on those plateaus, nor could I trigger their appearance. I used outpost beacons to mark their locations. I also used the beacons to recognize that these were ship landing locations. Notice how the beacon says the area is restricted until you get far enough away from the plateau. Finally, I had read on Reddit that one of the undocumented changes in the beta was the ability to give books to Cora Coe. I would love to be able to do this. I tried to get this to work by spawning Cora at the lodge. This was with my newly created character, so I don't know if I need to do her quest first or something like that. But I was unable to give her books. I did not see any option to do that while interacting with Cora. What do you think of these new options? What choices will you make? Leave a comment below and let me know. If you like this content, please feel free to like and subscribe. Also check out my other recent videos on new features in the beta. I will see you in the Starfield.